Welcome to Master the Game. Sorry, I have speaker plugged in, so it caused some issue there. But anyways, we are live. So before I jump into our mini painting and we discuss some Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest, I do want to quickly plug. Ooh, that is not the store screen share I wanted. Let's do this correct.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Let's look at some tactical tokens. So tactical tokens is an awesome set of tokens you can get. They're very affordable. You can dry erase on them, just like shown in the picture here. And you can also get them in various colors and sizes. They're, again, really affordable, perfect for that dungeon master on the go, game master on the go. If you're someone who goes to conventions or anything like that, then you're going to find a lot of use out of these. Now, you can see when I scroll down here, the different packs they offer. Right now, I don't believe they're doing any customized ones, but here in a minute, I'll show you some of the customized ones I have with my logo, as well as Paula's logo.
You know what's kind of cool about the dry erase ones is that you have a lot of options with what you can do with them, and you don't have to buy like 10,000. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, like you're talking about upwards of $60 for a crap ton of them. You don't need to do that though. Like,
yeah.
That's what's great. Like, I don't know.
It's very economical.
Now, if you want to save some more money, when you place your order, if you type in JUCE 10, you will get 10% off on your order. So, again, very cool. And with the holiday season coming up, maybe you tell your girlfriend, your wife, boyfriend, your gaming group to pitch in, whatever. It's a good deal. Like, I guarantee you will be satisfied. So, obviously, they're really lightweight, inexpensive, dry erase, so you can write conditions on them. Maybe you write if they're wounded, anything like that. It's really, really cool. They stick. So it says right here that they are stackable stickiness. They stick onto each other extremely well. So if you want to like say that something is flying, you just put it up on a different one, and you know you can test that out. Really, really, really cool stuff. So, anyways, so again, visit the shop. Boom, right here. Place your order. All that good stuff. Again, I'm going to show you a little bit more here before we jump over. All the different sizes they offer. Again, great stuff. Now, if you can get them when he's customizing them, again, you can get some really cool ones. He's got some with monsters on them. Also, if you support, the DM Lair has a Kickstarter going right now. If you go and support that Kickstarter, you can actually get the monsters for that module with that. So he's got them all printed out. It's really awesome. So with that, let's get over to the painting. And also, I will let Paula model this for you for a second.
Oh.
So here's two of them stuck together.
You
can show them off. Yeah, you can show those off, how they stick together, and, you know.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, you didn't even know about that,
I
did
didn't
you?
even know that, yeah.
I'm going to give you a white one, too, and you can show people the...
But this is 20.
Yep, here's a white one. And here's a dry erase marker that came with it.
Ooh. Whoops,
so if you want to stick them together, write on it, whatever, you can. So, hey Cameron, welcome. You were the first one tonight. So welcome back to your mantle of first one.
You can play Othello.
You could play Othello with them.
Did you ever play Othello?
I loved that game.
Fun. That was such a great game.
My aunt used to have it.
Whatever happened to that game?
I don't know. We should buy it. I'll order it tonight. I'll play it with you. I'll beat you every time.
Othello.
I would play it every day. Victor, Andre, I hope I'm saying your name correct. Andre Martin? Andres Martin? I think it's Andre. I don't know. But yeah, welcome. So she just wrote on it, for example. She drew a little star. You know, so you can do that.
The world's greatest hand model. I know, with my various size nails there.
The stackable nature is really cool. I really like that they're stackable. So I'm going to adjust the
that it comes off like really easily.
Yeah, isn't it nice though?
This is magnetized. That's kind of nice too.
I know. I'm gonna end up putting it on that whiteboard.
Oh, you could do so many things.
I know, right? You could make it a bush. So that's the other thing. So you could use some of these bigger ones like this, make it a tree, and then if they climb it, just set them on the tree. You know what I mean? Like there's so many cool things you can do with it.
Can I take this thing off of here?
Yeah, go ahead. Just peel it off.
Okay.
I don't need it.
Sorry, I didn't know if
I'm gonna.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna buy a thing for them tomorrow.
Yeah, so you
move
can,
it under the. They can't see it. Move it under the thing. Yeah.
so you can draw a little tree here.
Yeah, it's a really good deal, and so you could get all the ones you need for like $60 tops, right? You don't need to spend that much, but like even $35, you can get like almost everything you can think of.
That's a terrible tree.
So again, I like these tacticaltokens.com. Go check them out. So yeah. So that playtest is out. I went over it last night. Was not prepared, unfortunately. I had looked over it during the day. Was really excited about it. Took some melatonin last night, and I was exhausted. So I was like, I should just end this stream, and went pretty much straight to bed.
It's been a weird day today.
Today's good though. Today I feel really good.
Yeah, I was just like out of it. I don't know who scheduled an 8 a.m. doctor's appointment with the 2-year-old.
That was great though. If you would have done that in the afternoon,
idea.
It would have been worse.
No, but it would have been great if it was like 9 o'clock, because then I could wake up at the regular time and, you know.
Here you go, Paula. Here's your special ones. They have me as a 1 and you as a 20. But just so you know, I got the same thing with me as a 20 and you as a 1.
Oh.
And then the tactical tokens logo ones are cool too.
Whoa. Guys, I'm not good at this camera thing. I don't know who put me in charge.
I'm sure if you talk to Tactical Tokens, they might even send you one with my logo on it. So if you're interested in that, go ahead. If you're interested, go for it. I wouldn't be mad. Heck, it might be something I give out to people, like my patrons. Or something.
Oh, it could be like your...
Yeah, like, hey, you're a patron. I'm sending you a cool little thing here. So, speaking of patrons, if you want to play some old school D&D with roll stats as the Dungeon Master...
Oh, yeah. Did you tell them about that?
I have. We're going to be playing Keep on the Borderlands, and you can play with us. So, we have room in one of the games for one more person if you're a $10 or up backer. So, if you want to go get in on that game, you can. Paul is playing in that game. BN Drake, who's a fellow YouTuber, is in that game. Dave from Tactical Tokens is going to come in occasionally in that game. And then we're going to have a second game that we're going to start filling out for that as well. Also, I have a Pathfinder campaign coming up that if you're interested in playing, you can jump in on that as well. And I'm going to pick from my Patreon first. So if you are a $10 or up backer, you will get first dibs in that. So
Did
there
you
go.
show them what you got?
Oh yeah, the monster manual thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I showed that yesterday. And I got like 6 books today from Paizo. Not from Paizo. From Amazon that I bought. But I got Lost Omens World Guide. So when we're talking about playing Pathfinder, we're either going to do Fall of Plaguestone, or we're going to do the Extinction Curse. It'll be a Friday night game. I love the idea of Extinction Curse being in a circus. Sounds awesome. But I will probably start with the Fall of Plaguestone because it's shorter. I can guarantee that I'll finish it, in a relatively reasonable amount of time without, things falling apart and people quitting the game or whatever. So I just feel like Fall of Plaguestone would probably be a great one to start with, and then make new characters for Extinction Curse. With that, I'm not going to tell you who the players are. We have a couple YouTubers.
Right.
Paula's going to play in it. And we have room for at least one more, possibly 2 more. So if you're interested, I would create a separate tier over on Patreon for you guys to back. But if you're in the $10 up tier, I will consider you first. So otherwise, go over to my Discord. Because if I don't get anyone in the Patreon interested, then I will go to my Discord as a backup. So, you're painting his hair black. I like that. I like that. You never do that.
It's gonna be like, I don't know. I didn't know what else to do. I wasn't sure what to do.
Mm-hmm. Next week we've got the game room tour going on in our room. I got a couple new bookshelves from IKEA coming in. And so we're going to be showing off the room once I get that up, some of my art. I've got things like the D&D Art and Arcana book, the special edition one that had art, so we're going to put some of those up.
Oh, you should do the house walkthrough.
Yeah, but we got to get the house clean first.
It's clean.
Is it clean enough, you think? I don't know. You're the one that's usually picky about it. So I have been
The living
pulling...
room is clean. It's
I've
just
been
like
putting that
we
off.
rearranged the living room, so now like it looks like we have no furniture in the living
It's a
room.
massive room now.
It looks really big, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean it's pretty clean.
Now, I'm not going to show the playtest up on screen. So if you guys have it, cool. We can go over it together. We can talk about it. The Secrets of Magic playtest came out yesterday. It's got the Magus. It's got the
Saturday is our
Descent into Avernus game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you say that?
I did not.
Okay.
So tomorrow, so Friday we're playing our old Tomb of Annihilation game, not on stream. This is our only game that we don't stream. And so there won't be a stream Friday night. However, Paula hasn't prepped for it yet, I don't believe. Did you look at it last night at all?
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. Well,
So do you need tomorrow to prep or not?
I might need it.
Okay,
I'm
so
probably
tomorrow we might not do a stream. If we do, it might be me solo. So if you want to come back tomorrow, maybe we'll do some Pathfinder stuff. I thought about going through all my first edition Pathfinder books.
I'm going to change the module. That's why I want
That's fine.
time tomorrow because I just don't, I'm not sure.
It's been like 8 months since we played. No one's going to remember squat.
I'm not sure what route I want to go. I just don't feel like you guys are going to be as interested in how it's written.
Okay.
You know, so I'm just going to change it, I
Do your
think,
thing.
to make it more interesting for you guys.
So Gonzo the Great says, I love that old school module. He's talking about Keep on the Borderlands. So we've played it a little. We've played parts of it.
Yeah.
Together.
I've read the books.
Yeah.
Or the book.
Yeah.
Right? And I've read the module before, but like...
Right.
When I was 15.
Yeah. So we're going to play Beck Me. I'm waiting on my book. As soon as we get that book, we're going to create characters. As soon as I get that book. I have the PDF because obviously I ordered it through drive-through, print on demand. It was like $28, I think, plus tax or something. And you get the PDF and the physical book. The physical book has how to create a character, has all the advanced stuff on top of it. It has the monsters, the DM stuff. Everything you need is in there, world information. It's awesome. So I'm really excited. And I'm someone who has a hard time with PDFs. Like, I just can't sit there and read PDFs. So having a physical book to flip through will make it easier for me to follow things, be easier to find things for me. So I'm really excited about it. And we will create characters on stream on a Tuesday night. So Keep on the Borderlands it's going to be every Tuesday, but we're going to alternate between the two Keep on the Borderlands groups. One of them I'm going to play a ranger. And one of them I'm going to play a fighter. So the one with BN Drake, Paula.
That's the one you're going to play a fighter?
Yes. So
Okay.
BN Drake's a wizard. You're going to play an elf.
I'm going to play an elf.
Or I'm sorry, not a wizard. A magic user. Don't want to make roll stats mad.
He'll come out of the woodworks now.
He will. He'll be like, hey, what are you talking smack about Beck Me for?
You're always hating on old school games.
So yeah. Again, $10 not Patreon. I think I've said that enough. Like, people are like, come on, quit showing. So anyways, let's get into the Secrets of Magic. So Paula has never played, well, not never played. She hasn't played a lot of first edition Pathfinder. She's played one session, as well as one session of second edition.
Yep.
So we are not the most well-versed. I've spent a lot of time facing the books, looking at PDFs, all that good stuff.
I have spent 0 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Reading the books.
Or
I
anything.
have just created my character.
Kind of.
That's pretty much it. I read enough to create a character. Sometimes you just gotta jump right in, you know, just like.
Well, yeah, I think I'm starting to subscribe to that method. But yeah, so I've read a lot. I do not have a good, firm grasp on the balance of the system yet. It's very balanced, but I don't have a firm grasp on, this is extremely powerful. This is weak if you pair this with this. And Like I'm not there yet.
You're not to the optimization point.
Not even close. Like I am right now someone who I'm like, this sounds cool. This sounds like something I want to do. That's where I'm at. And I will say, with that said, Secrets of Magic, the class playtest, I am excited to play both a Magus and a Summoner, but the Magus does feel underpowered.
Okay, so let's just go over this real quick.
Do you know what a Magus is, Paula?
You told me, but like I wasn't really listening.
So it's it's kind of like an Eldritch Knight.
I was cooking.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Eldritch Knight.
It's kind of like an Eldritch Knight. You said that.
So I'm going to read the description of it. It's only a couple sentences. The Magus combines spells with attacks. The classic concept of the warrior mage hybrid lives here. The test will show whether this class outshines martial characters or spellcasters, or whether it balances its two sides in a satisfying way that feels special. The Magus gets fewer spell slots, though the slots' spell levels get as high as a wizard's. Right off the bat, I will say, it doesn't even come close to outshining a spellcaster. There is no way that a Magus is more powerful or a spotlight stealer over any spellcasters I've read up on.
Yeah, but maybe their pro is their variety.
No, it's not variety. It's the opposite. You don't have a variety.
It sounds like you're a fighter and you're a magic user.
Yes,
that's
but your
variety.
magic should, in the way it's built, and even in first edition, the way it is your magic should enhance your fighting abilities. Like it should make your attacks.
This was the
better.
Miniature that we didn't have any pictures of, right?
Yeah, that you couldn't find pictures of.
Dang, I don't know if this is like a shirt or his arm or I don't know what that is.
I'll pull something up real quick.
Do you guys feel that way about minis? Am I the only one who's just like, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at?
All right, Druid. He's the top one there, but that's small.
I need...
Top one there, but it's small. That's fine. We'll just put this.
Oh, it's a shirt.
Yeah, it looks like his whole body's covered.
His whole body is this green, so...
Yeah, it's completely covered other than his hands and his face.
Okay.
You're good. Okay. So, I don't know. So, yeah, I feel like as a Magus, your spells should be offensive combat style spells. You know what I mean? And your spells should complement your attacks, in my opinion. Plus, no matter what, throughout this, you only get 4 spell slots, even at your highest level.
Ooh,
so...
What kind of spells do you get, though?
Basically, like, wizard-type spells, I believe. But again, there's a lot of ways you can do... You can get, like your spells can cross over into other classes type of spells. A lot in Pathfinder. Yeah, so in Pathfinder 1e, the Magus could be too OP. Yeah, a lot of people complain to that from what I've heard. I ran maybe 5 sessions of... maybe more than that. Like 8 sessions of first edition. I played a couple more in Pathfinder Society. I had a bunch of the books at one point. I've sold a few off. But I had a bunch of the books at one point. And yeah, it was hard for me. At the time, I wasn't ready for it. And I didn't play 3.5. So, yeah. I guess D&D 3.5 is as close to it, I guess. That's pretty close. Pathfinder 1e is fun. Love the Magus in that game. Oh, yeah, it was a popular class. So before I get too into the Magus, let's quickly mention what the Summoner is. So I told you about this too.
Yeah.
It's the Summoner is for the player who wants to adventure alongside a cool sidekick. Powerful entity called an Eidolon holds a supernatural connection with the Summoner, sharing health and working in tandem. This class also casts spells, but has fewer per day than other spellcasting classes. So, and I had mentioned this last night, I believe. And maybe I didn't, I don't remember. But one of the things that is cool about this is obviously you can control 2 characters. It's better than a familiar, okay? You have sets of actions for each, right? So your action economy is already higher than most. And then you can, do different things. Like as you level up, you can share senses. So if one of them knows something, then the other one knows it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's intuition with each other, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's cool stuff there. The downside, they share the same hit point pool. So I don't know how this works, but I would imagine, say you get caught in a spell area of effect and both of you get hurt, it's like taking double damage. So there's a downside to it. But at the same time, the upside is you get to do some damage. Do some stuff. What?
I have a problem.
What is your problem?
So I painted his shirt green.
So?
This green.
Yeah.
That's a color that I mixed.
Yeah.
I have no idea how I made that color.
But you took color theory, so you got this.
Shut your mouth.
Pathfinder 1E is fun. Love the Magus in that game. Me and my friends don't try to break the game, so we have found it all to be fun. Well, and that's important. If you have... So I play that way too. I like to optimize, but I don't spam abilities that crush. I just don't do that. Like, I try not to use meta knowledge. Like we fought a Medusa in another game. I think my character had a mirror. I didn't try to use it. Like, I don't try to meta game. It's just not in my core, usually. It's not my favorite way to play. Now, if you're fighting a boss, and you know it's a boss, yeah. Like if your character knows, this is the hardest thing we're going to fight all day, I'm probably going to use my most powerful spells or abilities. So, all right, the Magus, right?
Okay. So
It's underpowered in this.
So, do you think you would ever play either one of these characters?
100%.
Okay.
I like the feel of both of them in this. I think they sound really cool. In fact, I watched my friend NoNat1's video today on it as well. He did it similar style to me last night, but he went through everything for the Magus' feats. Tomorrow he's going through the Summoner. So if you're not, go subscribe to him too. He does some really good Pathfinder stuff. But yeah, so the Magus, you can do an attribute bump in either Strength or Dexterity. Usually you have to pick, like you don't have to pick. Usually it's just one thing. So it's kind of cool that you get a choice. And you get 8 hit points, which even he said that was a little low for a class that seems martial. Or that is martial, that just can also cast a few spells.
So you were surprised about that?
Like, he thought it should be a 10. I could see an argument for that. Like, think about, like, other popular games. I'm not going to say any games, but, you have a D10 hit die, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, almost all your martial classes are D10 or higher, right?
That's true.
D8 is, like, your utility classes, right? And then D6s are your squishy characters.
Yeah, see, lucky Cameron.
He is lucky.
We're not all as cool as Cameron.
So
that's what I strive to be, is as cool as Cameron.
So the Magus is trained in perception, trained in reflex saves. However, they're an expert in fortitude and will saves. So they've got some saving throw defense, which is good. Skills, they don't get a lot of skills. They get Arcana, and then additional skills equal to 2, plus your intelligence modifier. So you're going to get at least 3 skills at first. You might get a couple more if you put anything into intelligence. And I'll have to look at how the spell casting works, but I think that's based on your intelligence as well. So you might have like a 15, so maybe a plus 2 or 3. So you might get up to 5 skills. Maybe 6 skills total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not,
Yeah, that's whatever. Attacks. So you're only trained in simple, martial, and unarmed.
Okay.
You're also trained in light armor, medium armor, and unarmored defense. So,
okay. That's not bad, though, right?
Yeah, but it's not great. So, again, expert is where you... Like, I think a fighter gets expert at something. I'm going to pull it up, just because I can. That's a big difference, though.
I know,
You're talking about, like, a plus
isn't
2. It's not bad. It's just not... Again, when you're talking about it, when there's a class, you want to be... You don't want to be second best at everything. You want something that's your thing, right? Like, that's how I always feel about a class. You need somewhere where you can shine. Does that make sense?
I mean, but do you have to?
No, you don't have to. But I feel like for me, it's important as a player. I want to feel like I shine at something. So think about it. When we used to play D&D 2nd Edition with your brother and Patty and all them, I was a fighter with low hit points. But that was okay, because I was also, I believe, was I the strongest? I think I was the strongest. So I think I had like 4 hit points at first level, but I had the maximum strength, the 18 and the maximum strength, right? Percentage-wise.
Right.
Whereas Patty played a fighter. She took all of her specializations in the same weapons as me, right? But she had higher hit points, so she could tank more.
Yeah,
so
but
she was outshining me at the thing that I built my character to do.
Yeah, but not
and
everybody
it ruined the fun for me.
Yeah, but not everybody's trying to do that. That might just might not be that type of class. You know, but maybe it is.
Sure.
Like, powerful in its variety. I don't know. Sometimes
no. There's no variety here, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you have spells.
You have spells and attacks.
You can attack. That's variety. Like, it's flavor.
Sure. So here's the thing about the fighter.
Right?
The fighter is expert in simple and expert in martial. So why couldn't the Magus at least be an expert with simple weapons, is all I'm getting at. So they're still not quite as good as a fighter, but they're going to be better than other classes, like a cleric at hitting with a weapon, or better than, you know what I mean? So they're still not...
No, I mean, I think it's fine. You think it's a big deal?
We're talking about a playtest where they're going to tweak it to make it better or worse, right? So you got to be a little critical of things. You can't just say, yep, it's great as it is, it'll work.
No,
boom,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's necessarily all bad because it is variety. I mean, I think I would probably focus more on, like, the spell aspect and what they could
So they have 4 slots. Right, but they have 4 slots.
Like, the fighting aspect.
At level 20, you still only have 4 slots.
Yeah, but maybe they
That's
need
like
to
3 rounds of
that.
combat, no more spells for the day.
Yeah, but maybe they need to enhance that and give them, like, I would give them a wider variety of, like, cantrips and stuff like that. Maybe you give them a bunch more. But that's not going to problem in the design, I don't think. And then you create that, like, oh, this character really is flexible. Like, they are the, jack of all trades.
But you don't want to get away from the first edition.
Right?
You don't want to get away from what it was before, either. You want it to be still somewhat like it was before, too.
That's true.
Because then people are going to go, oh, I loved Magus in the first edition. I want to port my character over from that campaign to this one. So you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think I would buff the simple weapons to expert. I don't know. Maybe I'm silly. You're trained in arcane spell attack. I see what you're saying. And it's fine. I don't think that's a problem. I do think and other people agree, that the Magus feels underpowered. When you start going through it, it just feels underpowered compared to most core classes. So they're going to have to buff it up somehow, right? But who knows? Again, this is also why Paizo wants you to play it before you like write them and say, hey, I think this needs to change. So here's the chart. In fact, I should.
It's looking okay.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I actually like that you went with the black hair. So here's the spell chart. Look, no matter what, you always have 5 cantrips. That's pretty standard across all their stuff. First level, you get 1 spell. Second level, you get 2. Third, 3. Fourth, 4. It never improves upon that. It's always 4 after that. Okay? You never have more than 4 spell slots. And that's for balance. It's so you don't overshadow other spellcasters. So you are.
That's weird. Okay.
It's so you're a weaker spellcaster than other spellcasters, right?
Gotcha.
You still
I see
have.
What you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so that's not how I interpreted what you were saying.
Right.
I thought you meant starting out you have 4, and I'm like,
no.
I think that's fine.
You get 1. So that's why I'm like, man, but you're also not gonna be as good as any martial character doing attacks.
I gotcha. I didn't understand that. So what he's saying is, like, as you increase in level,
after 4th level, that's it.
You continue. You have 4 spell slots, and those 4 spell slots increase in level. But now you don't have any low level spell slots anymore.
But it's different than
you
old school path.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
You can cast a first level spell, but you're casting it at that high level.
Yes.
At the heightened levels.
Yes. So your spells just get stronger and stronger. You don't ever get any more.
Right.
Like, that's... Okay, now I got what you're saying. I did not understand it the way that you were explaining it.
So Andres...
It's so confusing.
No, I'm not. I said it exactly that way. So Andres said, in Pathfinder 1e, the Magus channeled spells through their weapon. So it was weapon damage plus spell damage. It was a melee class, ranged with some archetypes. Not so a spell flinging class. Right, that's the other thing. So, and this is the same way. Like, you add a spell's damage on top of your weapon. It's still kind of that way. I think you can sling some spells too, but you channel that through your weapon.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay, I didn't understand any of this the way you were explaining it. I'm glad other
how
people
else
are here to tell me what's going on.
How could I... She does this to me all the time, guys. How was I supposed to explain it to someone who's never played the class? Or
I never understand the way that he explains things. I'm always like, nobody knows what you're talking about.
She wants it written in, like, calculus. She can't handle algebra. It's too simple for her brain. You have to give her the most complicated equation.
That's not true.
It is. When she explains things, it's always more complicated. Like,
it's
always.
Not.
Whereas me, I need it dumbed down to, like, the common man. Common tongue.
What are you talking about?
That's how my brain operates. Cast arcane spells, cast spell activity, supply material.
Okay, I guess I'll use this brush. I don't know what brush to use.
As you increase in level as a Magus, your number of spell slots and the highest level spells you can cast from spell slots increase. Some of your spells require you to attempt a spell attack roll to see how effective they are, or have your enemies roll against your spell DC. Your spell attack rolls and spell DCs use your intelligence modifier. So again, that backs up what I said earlier, where you're probably going to have like a 14, 15, maybe 16 intelligence. Heck, maybe you go higher than that. I don't know. Heightening spells. When you get spell slots a second level and higher, fill those slots, blah, blah, blah. You will have a spell book. It says usually recorded in a spell book. Striking spell specifics goes into the details of it. Striking spell. You've learned the fundamental Magus technique that lets you combine magic and martial attacks together. You gain the striking spell meta magic action. From start to finish, using the effects of striking spell is a 3-step process. First, you can use the striking spell free action. So again, it doesn't even cost you anything to do that. Second, you cast a spell into your body or weapon using striking spell's meta-magical properties. And third, you strike with that weapon or your unarmed attack and discharge the spell at your target. So again, it's just like you said, it's going to go through your weapon or your hands. That's the other thing. I've seen people talk about pairing this up with a monk very effectively. And there's even feats that lend themselves to that. If you hit with a melee strike using the receptacle for the spell is discharged, affecting only the target you hit. The spell still requires its normal spell attack roll or saving throw, but you don't increase your multiple attack penalty until after attempting both the discharging strike and the spell attack roll. If your discharging strike was a critical success, the degree of success is one better than you rolled for a spell attack roll, or one worse than the target rolls for a saving throw. Don't expend the stored spell with a strike before the end of your next turn. It is lost and dissipates harmlessly. The same thing happens if you take the striking spell action again, or if the weapon is used for a non-melee strike, such as a thrown weapon strike. A spell stored with a striking spell can't be discharged by anyone but the caster. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you charge your weapon, that uses your spell slot. You hit, great, you discharge it. If you miss, it sits there until you hit. Maybe you hit it the next attack. Maybe you hit it on an attack of opportunity, something like that. Then it discharges. Once your turn starts the next round, it's gone. So, Magus Synthesis. So there's 3 of them in here. These are like your subtypes. So Shooting Star.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
A typical Magus must retain a physical connection to their weapon to discharge a striking spell, but you can extend your magic further to use ranged weapons, so like bows and arrows, thrown weapons, all sorts of cool stuff, right? You can place a spell in a ranged or thrown weapon when using striking spell and discharge the spell if you hit with a ranged strike. If the weapon uses ammunition, the magic is delivered through that ammunition. The spell has its effect on a hit only if the target is in range of the stored spell. For instance, if you hit with a ranged attack at 30 feet, you could trigger the stored spell if it had a range of 30 feet, but not if it had a range of 15 feet or touch. So you still have to stay within the range of the spell in order for the spell to go off.
Oh, okay.
So, like, say a spell, like they said, is 15 feet, but you're shooting something 30 feet away, it's not going to do it. So once it's out of that range, it's gone. So shooting star is fine. I'm not real excited about that one. I can see why it would be effective, especially if you're using like a crossbow, a bow, something along those lines. Eventually a powdered weapon, maybe, if that ever happens. But yeah. Now the one that I got excited about was slide casting. So you capture a portion of your spell's magic to forcefully propel yourself while storing a spell. Each Magus chooses how they do this, such as propelling themselves with telekinesis or filling their body with magical speed. After you use striking spell and start casting a spell that takes one action or more to cast, you can stride or step as part of that cast a spell activity. You choose whether to move before or after the other parts of casting the spell. Disrupting this movement doesn't disrupt the spell, and disrupting the spell doesn't disrupt the movement. You can stride or step only if you're storing your spell in a one-handed weapon or your body, and only if you have your other hand free. So you need one hand free. You also need to have done your free action.
Okay.
And then you can stride or step. It sounds like as a free action as well, right?
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, so you attack and then you can slide or move away, basically. So that's the idea of the step action. You move out of range.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's manipulating the action economy a little, giving you an extra movement to get out of range. So now you're forcing them to use a movement to get back in range to attack you. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do.
you're limiting the power of their potential attacks because now they also have to move.
Right. They're giving up one of their actions. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of helpful though.
Yeah. So I like that.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah. Someone said slide casting, the anime Magus. Now there's a feat later on for that allows you to teleport up to half your movement. So if your movement's 40 feet,
I was thinking that
you
song,
can do 20
like,
feet.
slide to the left.
Right.
Slide to the right.
So the way I imagine it, right? So
That's how I imagined it.
So later on when you have the teleport thing, right? You're going to do your free action to put your spell into your weapon. You're going to hit, and then you're going to slide, you're going to teleport 20 feet away, not provoking an attack of opportunity. That's all one action. Now, some spells are 2 actions. In fact, most spells are 2 actions. So maybe that's 2 actions. But you've hit, you've done regular weapon damage, spell attack damage, and you've moved out of range of 20 feet. So now you still have a third action on your turn. So with your third action, you could move further away. You could do something else like hide. You can use one of your skills to scare them, intimidate them. Like, there's a lot of options.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can
that
do.
you can't do if you're just a spellcaster, fighter kind of thing. So slide casting is cool. I like that one. Sustaining steel. The clamor and carnage of battle call to you. The process of channeling... This one you're going to love. The process of channeling your arcane power into a large and dangerous weapon fills your body with extra vitality. If you use striking spell to store a spell in a two-handed weapon, when you finish casting the spell, you gain temporary hit points equal to either the twice spell's level if you used a spell slot, or its level if your spell didn't use a spell slot, such as a cantrip or focus spell. These temporary hit points last until the end of your next turn. So if you do it on this turn, you get temporary hit points as well.
That's kind of cool. You
Now,
don't like that one?
No, I love it, but I think slide... So I feel like, and again, I haven't played enough 2nd edition Pathfinder to really grasp it, But I feel like looking at the system, looking at the monster manual and things like that, the action economy, when you can manipulate that,
is really powerful.
Goes really far. Yeah. Like, because think about it, there's things that allow... Like,
wait, I thought you said these guys were, like, super, like...
underpowered?
Not optimized and underpowered.
I haven't got to the feats
like,
yet.
Oh, well, they can do, the most powerful thing, which is
I didn't say
manipulate
that.
the action economy.
No, because a lot of things can do that in different ways.
Oh, okay.
The summoner does it
all right,
way
man,
more.
I'm just asking questions.
Right.
There's so many rules in this game.
But all you need to know are the ones that pertain to your character, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm with roll stats when he's like, there's so many rules.
It's
like,
not,
I gotta make another
this isn't a rule
Pathfinder
anyone needs
character.
to know unless they're playing a Magus, though. Again,
I know,
it's not
but
different.
I might need to know that rule to decide that I
But
want
think
to
about
play
it.
one.
How is this any different than, say, D&D, right? If you're a warlock, you need to understand how your twinning a spell works.
Yeah,
all those different things you can
guess
put
that's
points
true.
into. If you're a sorcerer, you need to know all about your sorcery points, as well as this. Then anything you get every second level, it's not any different, except the difference is in D&D, you don't get those choices. You get what they tell you at that level. You might get 2 or 3 choices, but you mostly get what they tell you.
Yeah. I'm just
Pathfinder,
saying,
you get a
there's, like,
choice
so
of
many
what you get.
things sometimes. You know?
It's again.
Like, I'm gonna have to make another Pathfinder character for that module, and I'm like, crap, what am I gonna do?
It'll be fine. You're gonna make something.
What am I gonna do?
Well, if we do Fall of Plaguestone, you're just gonna make whatever you think would be fun. If we do the Extinction Curse, you're gonna be like, okay, what would be fun for a circus? Like, come on, that's like awesome. You want to play a rogue? Perfect, right?
I want to be a good circus character.
Mm-hmm. An acrobat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
See? And that's what I think you should do since you haven't played a rogue in a while. When we do Extinction Curse, I think you should play a rogue.
That's true, I haven't.
I know. So I think you need to hold on to that for that module. For Fall of Plaguestone, I think would be a great one to pull out like your sorcerer build or a witch build or something like that.
I know, I've played a lot of druids lately though.
You've never played a warlock in D&D, right? A witch is basically a warlock, right? It's different, but that's the equivalent. Like everything's different in Pathfinder compared to D&D though. But anyway, so yeah, that's cool too. Again, these are fun. They're flavorful. They're going to allow you to do some cool stuff. So you get that at first level. Second level, you're going to finally get you're going to get a skill feat and Magus feats. So at first level, you're not even getting a feat from your class.
Do most other classes get feats?
Martial classes, yes. I don't think all spellcasters do. In fact, I think most spellcasters don't.
I didn't think they did either.
Right. So again, you're going to be less powerful than any martial character. And you're way underpowered when it comes to magic users. Right?
Yeah, but maybe that's just not, like...
So what are you good at then? I'm asking you.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the spells are.
But again, it doesn't
Maybe
matter.
like-
You're limited by the use of them, right?
I don't know.
So third level, you're going to get a general feat.
What do you guys think? Do other people think that they seem underpowered?
Yes, there was a huge rant going online about how underpowered it is.
Oh, okay.
O'Neill Flynn says, not sure how much I missed bouncing between Discord and here on my phone. No worries. So Paula she wants to give faith to Paizo that the Magus is not underpowered. I'm saying as well, and mine is just a theory. Other people with much more knowledge on the system have said that it's underpowered. Excuse me. So that's what we're kind of talking about.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
There's
I'm
even
just
feat
saying,
choices that it's like, why would you choose this when it does not better anything?
I'm just saying, like, give it a chance.
I told you I would. I told you I'm excited to play it someday. Like, I want to play both of these two classes at some The cool thing, so the one thing that is really good about this is I believe, at, let's see, what level? You get Weapon Mastery at 13th level. You get Medium Armor Mastery at 17th level and Master Spellcaster at 19th. As far as I know, no other class in the game gets Mastery of Spellcasting and Weapons in the whole game.
Oh, you mean they're good at something?
They are on par with the Fighter in Weapon Mastery once they hit 13th level. And they're on par with the Wizard, finally, for 4 times only, not the 20 times or whatever a Wizard gets. They're on par there.
Okay, fine, whatever.
So they're still not as good.
I'm just saying, whatever, I don't know.
But they're the only class that gets it in both. So, which is great when you're 19th level. How many games do you play till 19th level, though?
Never.
See?
You guys, never. I've never played a game.
Have you?
Till 19th level.
Ever?
No.
For real, or are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, okay, because you started off saying that, very, sarcastically. So I've never played a 19th level character in my life.
Yeah, neither have I. Do you guys play these long games? Maybe people just don't really like us. They're like,
these modules,
I don't want to
though,
play with these guys.
like Extinction Curse, the first book goes up to 4th or no. By the end of it, you're 5th level. The second book, you're 10th level or 9th level. And it's like that. And there's 6 books, so you're gonna get up to 20th level if you play through the whole thing.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Right? So I'm just curious. Fighter gets Armor Mastery at 17th level, which is the same as the Magus. And... oh, I'm sorry. They get Mastery. When do they get Mastery? Weapon Legend at 13th, which is better than Mastery. So they will still be better than you with a weapon.
Why do you have to be the best at everything?
The fighter? I don't know. Why does a fighter have to be the best at everything?
I don't know what the problem is.
So yeah, they will still be better at 13th level. And a Magus will never be a master. A weapon master. That's too bad.
It's never going to happen for
Andres Martin says, the longer game I've DM'd was 30th level in 3.5.
Oh my gosh.
Using epic level rules. So Andres, did you fast track that or did you legit use XP to do that? I can't imagine playing a game long enough to get there. I know there's someone who's had a campaign since the 80s they're still playing.
Oh my gosh, that's
Have
so
you seen
impressive.
that? I think I shared that article.
I mean, I wasn't alive for most of the 80s, so, you know.
So the other thing about fighters is they get greater weapon specialization, which gives them also more damage later on. And I don't see that here. Oh, yeah, I do. 15th level. So you do get that. So at least you get that. Also, you can't use as heavy armor. You're stuck in medium or less. I don't know. Again, I like the Magus. I do. The Arcane Fists at first level. You value physical perfection as much as mental. The damage die for your fist changes to D6 instead of D4. Most people take a -2 circumstance penalty when making a lethal attack with non-lethal unarmed attacks because they find it hard to use their fists with deadly force. You don't take this penalty when making a lethal attack with your fist or any other unarmed attacks. You also gain the critical specialization effects of unarmed attacks in the brawling group and weapons in the brawling group. So that's cool. Again, that's one of those things, especially if you multi-level or whatever into... Oops, I did not mean to do that.
Uh-oh.
I pushed a button on the side. I did not want to do it. Close? Okay, cool. All right. It's that PDF writer stuff. I accidentally pushed one of the icons on the side.
What are you doing?
I moved it over here so you can see it, because I know you keep looking
he did it based on XP.
Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Too tired of XP. Yeah, I don't do a lot of XP, to be honest. I do milestones. Basically, I just say, you leveled up. But I might try it with Pathfinder, because I like how simple it's just up to 1,000 XP, and then you level. Up to 1,000 XP again, and you level. You know? And it carries over. If you hit like 1,020 XP, it carries over into your next level. So then you start over at 20. And you go up to 1,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I explained that okay?
Yeah.
So.
You could have just said at level 1 you need 1,000. For level 2 you need 2,000. For level 3 you need 3,000.
Yeah, that's just not how they word it in the book.
Yeah, but like that's the easy way to explain it.
Sure. So how long did that campaign go to get to 30th level? Because that sounds like it would be years.
Yeah, how long did, and what was the like most powerful monster they fought?
I love this druid, by the way.
Or how many? Yeah, you would like this.
It's got me excited. That is a character that I would play.
It's like green and brown. That's why
it looks like a druid. If I pull that mini out, you're like, that's a freaking druid. Like, no, maybe a ranger. You're going to say, this is a druid, or this is a ranger. Perfect. That's what I want. 3 years. So we've been playing Tomb of Annihilation going on 2 years now, and we're like level 6.
Yeah, you guys ain't that.
But we haven't played for 8 months. That's the one we're playing this Friday.
Has it really been that long?
COVID was March.
Jeez.
So 6 months minimum. I don't think we played. Did we play February? I don't know if we played in February because I was working. Remember?
That's true.
So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Arcane Fists is cool if you want to be a monk, Magus. We played a lot. Were you in like high school or something or college? Because that would make sense to me. We have 3 kids, so when we play, I mean, I play a lot of games. We both play a lot of games now. Probably the most I've ever played. But
they're the most different groups, not necessarily the most I've regularly played.
Yeah. You can get a familiar at first level. Familiar creature serves you and assists your spellcasting. Raise a tome. So this is one that is basically like Shield of Faith or something like that, I think Nonat said. So when you're holding a book, okay, you raise up the book you're holding and flip it open to defend yourself and expedite your studies. The book remains raised until the start of your next turn. While you have a book raised, so I don't, like, are you holding it or is it floating? I imagine it floating, but maybe I'm wrong. While you have a book raised, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to AC and to recall knowledge on a subject relevant to the book, such as arcane magic if you're using the spell book. If you're a master in the skill you're using to recall knowledge, the circumstance bonus to recall knowledge check is +2 instead. So it gives you a +1 to AC and either a +1 or +2 to recall knowledge. That's kind of cool. Like, I really, really, really like this one. I'm hoping that when you do it, it frees up a hand, though. Because otherwise, you can't do, like, you can't do your slide because you have to have a free hand. Or you can't use your weapon. Like, you have to choose then, and so it just negates the other stuff. That's one of the reasons people say, okay, this is a pointless one, you shouldn't take it. Right? A lot of these feats make it so you can't use the abilities that make you special. It sounds like the Magus covers his face with a book. A floating book sounds way better. Yeah, and I mean, even if it's not a floating book, that's how I would flavor it, right? I would just be like, yeah, I hold my book out and it starts floating in front of me. But if, you know, if there's anything that's not, you can't do without a free hand, you know, you're going to have that restriction, I think, still. Cantrip expansion at 2nd level. Dedicated study allows you to prepare a wider range of simple spells. You can prepare 2 additional cantrips each day. So that's cool. Joshua Gabries said, Juce, do you use Roll20? It doesn't seem super reliable to me. I'm literally in a game right now and it just dropped us all.
Ooh,
We use used to as players. I've never used it as a DM. Never had a problem with it dropping us. We didn't use the audio in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't do that.
We used it just for the maps and dice and character sheets.
Yeah.
We used recently Fantasy Grounds, which I felt like was slow and lagged personally.
Oh really? I didn't really have any problems.
I did, especially when creating my character. We had like every single time we were on, somebody had some sort of problem though. Things not loading correctly.
I just didn't feel like it was super intuitive, maybe. But if you
I had
knew
skills
what you were
6
doing,
times in there. Like it was the same skill repeated 6 times.
Yeah, if you knew what you were doing, it worked well.
But it didn't.
It did.
Michael had problems too. Where he
some
had
of us
Jared
added like.
Even people who were familiar with it had problems when we were creating characters because it was. I think it was because it was lagging. So sometimes you click it and it would automatically put it in a few times. Sometimes it wouldn't calculate things correctly, and that was for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But I don't know. I personally like Roll20, but I haven't used it in a couple years. It could be also that this last 8 months, so many people have started using it due to playing more online rather than in person. So that might be your problem. But there's a lot of options for virtual tabletops out there. A lot of them. I just haven't tried a lot of them. I do Theater of the Mind when we're playing. I've heard of people using Google Slideshow. Is that what it is? Google Slideshow. And they put the map in there and then they do tokens in there. And then the DM just moves everything around and shares their screen with everybody. So if someone says, I want to move closer to this guy, they move it for them. And they're just sharing it with them.
Okay.
And so that works. But yeah, I don't know. And I've started using my camera over a flip mat. Paula had a hard time seeing it, but nobody else did.
Yeah, but I think we're maybe gonna try these tactical tokens for it because so I just had a trouble figuring out who was what color. And so where everybody else was situated, I wasn't quite sure which one was me versus another one because I couldn't really see the details of the actual character is really hard. But I think the tactical tokens, you want to pass me some of those colored ones? I think this is a 1-inch grid. And, so if you were
use this
playing,
if you need an example, I guess.
If you were playing and you knew you were orange and you're here, that's really easy to see. Or if you knew you were that turquoise color.
Meanwhile, here's monsters.
Yeah, and then all your monsters are in this
just
white color.
Or you use real miniatures for monsters.
That makes it really easy to figure out who's where and who's what. And then if you were online and you really wanted to, if everybody had set colors, you could adjust their background if people wanted to, make their background color the same color as their token too, to make it a little easier to figure out who's who for people watching and for the players.
Yeah, maybe.
It might be a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not doing it this weekend. Not for this game. Maybe in the future, though. Maybe for the Tyranny of Dragons game. Just because that one, I think, has a lot of times where it might be helpful. Andre said, hit them with the book. Problem solved. There you go. That's your weapon you're using your magic through. So cantrip expansion's cool. You get 2 new cantrips. That's cool. Enhanced familiar at 2nd level, just like all other enhanced familiars. The tokens remind me of Pogs. Remember Pogs? Dude, Pogs were my jam as a kid. I had an O.J. Simpson slammer. It was really light, was not very thick, but it was great. I feel like I was able to throw it really hard and I'd win all the Pogs.
The real question, Joshua, is did you know how to play the actual game? Or, did you just collect the Pogs?
Yeah, I played it for gambling.
Like
We gambled.
Oh, okay.
100%. We used to.
So I just collected the pogs. I had no idea how to play the game. That's not true.
We gambled. So we would do typically 10 versus 10. So I would pick 10 of yours, you'd pick 10 of mine, and then we'd negotiate if it was an equal deal, right? So like you might have one that I really, really want, but I might have one you really, really want. We might go, okay, we match that, right? And so you'd go through and pick what you wanted out of the others, and then if you agreed, then you'd alternate. So like you'd flip the slammer, and whoever won, then theirs goes on the bottom because that's the hardest one to get.
Wait, what? Slammer what?
You don't know what slammers are?
No, but like it goes on the bottom of what?
You make a stack of the pogs. So if I choose 10 and you choose 10, we alternate whose pogs are where. You make the stack on a mat.
Oh, okay.
So one of the rules,
intense.
I'm going to tell you the rules right now. I haven't played this since I was 9 years old. So you're on a mat. It's like a rubber mat.
We need to get our kids playing this.
No, you don't. It's gambling. So you get the mat. So the rule is
life is a gamble.
So you got this mat, okay, Paula.
I'm with you. I'm on the mat. You stack them up.
You stack them up.
Other.
One stack.
Right? Yeah,
So
following.
then also the person who won gets to go first. So then you take your slammer.
So what do you do for the first round where
this is what you're doing.
won?
It's stacked 20 high.
Uh-huh. So
the first person takes their slammer, which is a piece of plastic.
How do you know who goes first, though?
You flip the slammer like heads or tails, just like coin toss.
Oh, okay.
Then, so there are also different kinds of slammers. There were some that were thick with metal and rubber.
Yeah. I know what those are.
That shit needs to be banned. Right off the bat, you ban that shit. You never play that way. So I had one that was like this thick, maybe like a quarter of an inch, maybe a half inch at most. Just cheap, thin plastic. It had O.J. Simpson behind bars on the... Or I'm sorry, O.J. Simpson was my metal one. I had a TKO slammer. That was my good one. Had a guy getting punched in the mouth with a boxing glove. Anyways, had a fingerprint spot.
This is why I
Boom.
get confused.
Take it like
because,
this.
And you
throw it at the top.
Throw it on the top of the stack?
And what you want to happen is they need to fall face up. Any of them that fall face up are yours to keep. The ones that are face down go back in a pile.
Okay.
And the other person now gets their turn.
This doesn't even require a whole ton of skill. You just
no. No. You think that there's skill. Trust me. So then the other person goes. Now you can have a rule about you can do. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was like no flips. So what that means is when you have like one or two at the bottom, you can take your slammer at the edge of it and just go and push it rather than throw it to just flip it.
Oh, that's cheap.
It was. So we used to always have that rule of no flips. But if you didn't say it, somebody always tried it, right? Yeah. So anyways.
You didn't say no flips.
Right. So here's the best part, right? So the first person has the best
chance. This sounds
chance.
like a dumb game. Okay. So
but that's how you win their pogs. So the other thing is if it flipped over.
My friends never wanted to bet pogs.
That's because you were friends with sissies.
They didn't want to lose the ones that they liked.
Which is fine. They didn't play pogs then. So then here's the other thing. If it flipped over, it had to stay inside the circle on the mat. If it was outside the circle, it goes right back in the pile. So that's the other thing. You need it to flip over, but stay within the circle on the mat.
So when you stack them, do you...
Right in the middle.
Yeah, but are they face up or face down?
They have to be face down.
Oh,
so then you throw it, and then you'll notice when you hit it, it compresses a little because it's cardboard.
Cameron says, I feel like O.J. Simpson having his own slammer is kind of foretelling.
Yeah, it was like 2 years after the O.J. Simpson cases. So then when you hit it, it compresses like a spring, and then some of them flip. That's kind of how it works.
Oh,
that's Pogs. That's why you had Pog tournaments, like all sorts of stuff. There was talent involved. There really was. Like there was, if you threw it right when it was on the bottom, if you want to hit it flat, like flat to flat, it'll then pull it with it. So that was how you did it without the flips. You're like, pow. Because if you hit it dead on, you're just going to dent the Pog, and it's not going to flip. So you had to either hit the side if you did it that way, or hit it flat to flat, and it would pull it with it. I don't know how I remember that much, but yeah. Pogs are great.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like, stack them, slam them, take your friend's treasures. 100%. Oh, Pogs. We called them Paizos in Spain. Yeah, Hawaii used to call them something different too. They actually, I think it started in Hawaii. All right, it's back on allegedly. Just dropped in to say hi. All right, man. Have fun with your game. Be sure to come back. Life is a gamble and love is a battlefield. Oh, man. So, yeah, the Magus Energized strikes. Your most recent action was to cast a spell with the Acid, Cold, Electricity, Fire, or Sonic trait. You energize one weapon you're wielding with a spell. For 1 minute, your strikes with that weapon deal 1 additional damage per weapon damage die. 1 damage at 6th level. Just 1, just +1. In Pathfinder, you can craft magic items. You can buy magic items. By 6th level, you're probably at +2, +3 range. Why would you use this when you're better off using a magic item?
To get +1.
Yeah, why would you do a +1 rather than just using a magic item that gives you +2 or +3? It doesn't make sense. And I don't think it stacks.
Oh, sorry, I'm not even like on.
That's all right. I don't even think it stacks. That's the other thing. So, again, so these are things people are like, I don't know about. Same thing with spell parry. So, you can parry both physical and magical assaults. You gain a +1 circumstance. This is a 4th level feat, by the way. +1 circumstance bonus to AC and to saving throws against spells that target you until the start of your next turn, as long as you continue to meet the requirements.
What color am I going to make his sword? Sorry, please pause for important questions. What color is his sword?
I think you should. So he's a druid, so it's going to be something naturey, right?
Or
could be fire.
Or
could be just green flame.
Like, yeah, but there's so much green. Like,
green's not bad for a druid.
Should it be like?
Blue
I mean,
for
I
cold.
could go like an orange.
Orange is fine. So he's not
orange.
So here's the thing: he's green, but he's dark green.
Pink?
No pink.
No orange pink. And pink.
No pink. Come on. No. Blue, orange, red, all good.
I mean,
Red's
like,
different.
I know it's using flame blade, but like, what color is the flame, you guys?
Green flame. A bright green. There's nothing bright on him.
Any green. It's like painting gray for days.
Do it. No, it's not. You're doing it one night, and you're done with him. You're going to be done with him in 20 minutes. Green.
I'm not going to be done with him in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you will. You don't think so? He looks close.
He looks close because he's got eyes, and usually doesn't have eyes. Look at that, you guys.
And the armor's good.
Did his eyes? I don't even know if he used
look.
I did his eyes first.
It's using flame blade. See? Andres agrees. Green flame is the best, though. A bright green. Andres says yellow.
Yellow or gold? Yeah, dude, I'm going to start with orange.
Orange and yellow. I'll give you that. How about that? I'll meet you there.
Well, I'm going to do orange, and it's going to shift. There's going to be some gold in there, I think.
Oh, gosh. So here's the thing about spell parry that is dumb. You have to have...
Tell me the thing about spell parry that's dumb.
So you have to have one hand free, and you have to be holding like a single weapon in the other hand. One hand free, weapon here.
Okay.
You only get a +1 AC. Why would you not hold a shield instead for the +2?
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how a lot of these things are. A lot of these things, it's like, why am I doing this? Like, I would never choose this because it's so suboptimal. Like, why? So that should at least be a +3 in my mind. Otherwise, there's no point. Personally. Okay, here's one at 6th. I don't know a lot about. It's a focus spell. You can protect. It's called Spell Countermeasures. You can protect yourself against magic. You learn the spell countermeasures. Battle spell. Increase the number of focus points in your focus pool by 1. So you can use it once per day, basically. It sounds like maybe it negates spells against you, which sounds good. Hey, what's up, Randall? Whoa, someone is getting shamed. What's up, Juice and Paula? Yeah, we're going through the Pathfinder playtest for the Magus and the Summoner. And my argument is
He's
that the
brutal.
Magus is underpowered because there's things that you wouldn't take it. There's no reason to. Like the one I just mentioned, the first one, not the first one, but the last one I mentioned, is spell parry at 4th level. You have to have a free hand and you have to have a weapon in a hand. And you have to have the free hand because that's what allows you to do the magic that allows you to have this parry, right? The problem is it's a +1 to your AC. But if you have shield, it's a +2. It's way better to have that +2 with the shield than that. So why would you do it? You know? There was another one up here. So you can add a +1 to your damage at 6th level. But the way Pathfinder is at 6th level, you should have a weapon doing like a +2 or +3. Like a magic weapon doing that. So again, why would you do that? Unless you can stack it. But I don't think you can stack magical bonuses, according to the rules. 8th level, capture spell. I think the Magus is not proficient with shields. But you can take a general feat to bump that. And you can always take a general feat, I believe, right?
Yeah, but maybe you want to use that general feat for something else.
Like spell parry?
General feat.
So take spell parry instead?
I don't know.
So you'd rather go for the +1 than the +2? I mean, there's downsides to the shield. Like, it's only got so much that it can take before it shatters. You know? But it also gets rid of some of the damage as well. So even if things get through, it still reduces some damage.
See, the orange looks okay, right?
Yeah, orange is great. I told you it was going to look good. But I don't think you have to be proficient. Like, yeah, there's like things that allow you to raise shield,
here
right?
Too.
Hey, Melchior! Also, you could always just multi-class that level. You could do one of the archetypes, which allows you to get a feat, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So that would still be more optimal if you were thinking of doing that.
Okay, I guess so.
Yeah, shield block is a level 1 feat. No prerequisites. So again, you could get that at any point, pretty much. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I would do instead, personally. So So you have to have a free hand for your spells as a Magus, it sounds like. Or for most of them. It probably has to do with whether you need semantic, right? Isn't that what it is, where you do a hand motion?
Mm-hmm.
So it might depend on the spell. But yeah, I think a lot of spells require you to have a free hand. That's why the other thing about the book we were talking about earlier, while it's cool for flavor, might not be optimal. And that was the thing that Nonat was mentioning. Whereas I still thought it was cool and I would probably still take it. So.
Even though it's not optimal?
Correct. Because I would just flavor it like it's floating around. So that's the problem, I think, with the Magus. It's just there's a lot of these things that on the surface you're like, oh yeah, that might be cool. And then you're like, wait, that's not as good as like a normal person holding a shield. Or that's not as good as this. You know what I mean? And it's the shield thing, the spell parry is 4th level. I mean, yeah. You can parry both physical and magical assaults. But I believe a shield can do that too.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Maybe the difference is the magical assaults thing. Maybe there's spells that bypass. You know, it says also to saving throws. So maybe that's the big part. It's the magical assaults. The saving throws a +1. Maybe that's what makes it better. Or not better, but why you would want to do it necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. It's also got it as an action. So it's not listed as a reaction. And I feel like that must be a mistake. Like it should be a reaction.
What should be?
This spell parry thing? Because you're parrying. You're reacting, right?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But, yeah. But the way it works is it works Against spells that target you until the start of your next turn, as long as you continue to meet the requirements. So it sounds like you do have to use it as an action, and then hope that something targets you before your next turn. I don't know. It's a lot, I think, just for a +1. I don't know if it's beneficial. It sounds more shitty the more I read it. See, I actually went the other way. I was like, oh, maybe it's a little better. But it's still not. It's such a high cost at 6th level, I feel. Like, it might be better if that was 1st level. Then I could say, okay, yeah, do it, right? I don't know. But even then, I still feel like I would take the general shield one, right?
I mean, like, you probably would, yes.
The shield one?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't as a Magus. I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. I don't really know what I would do.
What would you do? What would you guys do?
What would you do if the sun was at home? Oh, sorry. Getting that song in my head. Old song. Runic
I haven't
Impression.
thought about that song in a long time.
Yeah, see, I go back and listen to old music on YouTube all the time, though. I introduced the kids to what we listened to 20 years ago.
I know, and then you're like, why is everybody getting bent out of shape about today's music? Like,
I like today's
ours
music,
was
too.
questionable.
It was. That's true.
I pulled up a song today, and Caleb's like, Mommy, I don't think we can listen to this song. Daddy says it's got all sorts of swear words in it.
Which one?
I'm like, it does not. It was like something by like Macklemore. Something like that.
No.
I was like...
Although, yeah, actually the one... I think it is Thrift Shop. The unedited version does have a lot of swearing and stuff.
It was not that song, though.
Yeah, it was like the Moment one. That one's fine. But the other one, if you listen to the unedited version,
we can't
probably not something you listen to with a 5-year-old.
We can't listen to this because there's too many swear words in it. And I'm like, I don't think there's swear words in this song. And he's like, Daddy says there is. You're going to let us listen to swear words? And I was just like, who's telling on who right now?
Right.
Like...
Melchior says, my personal feeling is that shields might not defend against certain spells, such as mind affecting, unless specifically designed to do so. Well, the other thing is DCs. So if you're making a spell save DC, shields don't help with that. So the +1's okay there, right? Earlier, one of the things we were talking about, which is why I said that having an expert in your weapon stuff, thing I didn't get to mention, is with how critical hits are in Pathfinder, how there's so much more because you do the +10, or the critical fails if you're 10 under. Like, that is such a big part of the game. I don't feel like a Magus is going to get a lot of opportunities for crits compared to other classes either. You know what I mean? And we found, I mean, you had some crits, I think, in the other game, didn't you?
Yeah.
So if you play a session, you get no crits and everyone else gets like 3. Again, you're going to feel underpowered.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Spell Swipe, 8th level feat. You attack in an arc and can adapt your stored spell to harm everyone you hit. Make a melee strike and compare the attack roll result to the AC of up to 2 foes, each of whom must be within your melee reach and adjacent to each other. Roll damage only once and apply it to each creature you hit. Spell Swipe counts as 2 attacks for your multiple attack penalty. If you had a spell stored in the weapon you attacked with, or in your body if you made an unarmed strike, discharging it affects all foes you hit. So that might be cool, because now you're hitting it with the weapon strike on 2 foes and your spells. So this allows your spells to be stretched a bit further. So that one's cool. I like that one. Cascading Ray. You discharge a stored spell that deals acid, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of different energy types. Energy overflows from your striking spell, spilling out to extend beyond the creature you struck. This overflowing energy creates a ray targeting a creature within 60 feet of the creature you damaged. What? So you hit something, you can hit another creature up to 60 feet away?
That's kind of cool.
Make a spell attack roll against this new target, applying your multiple attack penalty normally. On a hit, the creature takes the same damage the spell deals of one of the triggering types. Double damage on a critical hit. If the spell deals more than one eligible type of damage, you choose one of these types, and the ray deals only the amount of damage from that type. Unlike the spell discharged, your success with the Cascading Ray spell attack roll isn't improved if your initial strike was a critical hit. This ray has the attack trait, the school and tradition traits of the original spell, and the trait matching the damage type. That one's pretty cool. I like that one. The other thing that was cool about Spell Swipe is it sounds like you could do it even without a stored spell, because it says if you had a spell stored. So you could still hit 2 creatures without the attack being -2 on the second hit or whatever, or -5 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So you could hit 2 without a penalty. And then you suffer the 2 penalties for your last hit if you do it as a third attack.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it's no penalty, and then if you choose on your final attack to do it, now you're dealing the -10 or whatever. Portal Slide is a level 10 thing. That was the thing I was telling you about, where you could teleport up to half your speed. It doesn't trigger reactions. Healer's Steel is also 10th level. So this is for the healing one, the temporary healing thing, I think. Prerequisite, Sustaining Steel Magus Synthesis. Rather than just protecting you, the spells you channel into your weapon actually heal you. In addition to the temporary hit points you gain from Sustaining Steel, you can either regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level, or end any persistent negative damage you have. If the spell was of the Necromancy school, you can both heal yourself and end persistent negative damage. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So you get the temporary hit points, you can permanently heal yourself, as well as possibly stop persistent necromantic negative damage. I like that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I do like that.
Ooh, this is a good one. Quicken Spell Strike at level 10. You can muster intense focus to rapidly store a spell. You use Striking Spell. If your next action is to cast a spell to store in your body or a weapon, reduce the number of actions required to cast the spell by 1 to a minimum of 1 action. So spells that normally cost 2 now will cost 1. Spells that cost 3 will cost 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do that mixed with something else that already is allowing you to do that, as like the slide. So now you're sliding 1. You're casting a 2-action spell as a 1-action spell. You're not. It's like having 5 actions instead of 3.
You're doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Melchior says, I've been playing through the Neverwinter Nights OC again, this time using a fighter rogue. Ooh, interesting. With Tommy Undergallows as my henchman. Melee is a lot more effective that way. Interesting. Yeah, I need to get back to playing some of that Pathfinder video game. I'm not doing it tonight, though. I'm going to bed after we get off here in like 10 minutes. Like the Magus has cool stuff. Like I said, I like it. But I like things.
You're giving it such a hard time. You're like, I like it, but like
I can like
these
stuff
are
that's
all the
underpowered.
things that I hate about it.
Well, this is why what I say to roll stats though, because he's like, oh, you're playing Pathfinder, so you're going to optimize everything. Not necessarily. I just like having options. I like being able to do multiple things. You know what I mean? I like playing martial characters where every once in a while I just run up and hit it with my sword. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like I'm making a poor choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I sometimes like to feel like I have mechanical options to do other things. That's what's appealing about Pathfinder in general to me, is that everything has more options. Andre says, the level 10 feats are very good. Seems 10th level is the star level of the Magus. 100% agree. Melchior says, Tommy is a rogue, and if we both are attacking the same enemy, one or the other of us is certain to get a sneak attack unless the enemy is undead. That's cool, Melchior. That's very cool. Yeah, 10th level is really good. 12th level looks alright, too. Bespelled Persistence. When you use Bespell strikes, the weapon or unarmed attacks also deal 1d6 persistent damage. This persistent damage is of the same type the spell strikes deals, except in the case of physical damage, which causes persistent bleed damage. Persistent damage is awesome. And a lot of things get that too in Pathfinder, it seems.
Oh, the persistent damage?
Yeah, like, they vary, but yeah. It's usually, what is it? Precise? Precision? Persistent or something? I don't know. There's like precision damage, but then there's persistent damage, which is every round. There's a lot of cool things. It's usually like a combination. Like you do like your attack, then you get precise damage, but then allows persistent damage afterwards or something. Overwhelming spell strike. You pierce through your foe's resistance. Strike a foe. If your strike discharges a stored spell that deals damage, the spell ignores an amount of the target's resistance to acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic damage equal to your level. And so you'd at least be level 12. So that's kind of crazy. This applies to all damage the spell deals, including persistent damage and damage caused by an ongoing effect of the spell, such as the wall created by a wall of fire. A creature's immunities are unaffected. Melchior says, my main objection to buff spells in a real-time environment like Neverwinter Nights is that you can't really keep track of when they're about to run out. Having to constantly rest and recast gets old really fast. True. That's why the Pathfinder Kingmaker video game is cool, because you can do it turn-based, so it makes the whole running out thing, it makes a lot of sense. But that game is bugged. It's so much fun. It's still worth it, but there's a lot of bugs. Like one of them that I haven't even told Paula about yet is once you change into an animal as a druid, you can't change back. You're always an animal.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't had that problem. Yeah, a lot of people are mad about it. So the computer game had a lot of these bugs originally. It sounds like the console version didn't get the updates. So what I'm experiencing is what computer people experienced 2 years ago. Like, it sounds like some stuff may have been fixed, but most of it is still in the console version. And the way it works is when you go to patch a game with a computer, you can patch it like immediately, as much as you want. Video games on Xbox and Sony have to get approved by Sony or Microsoft before the patch can go through. So yeah, that's why it's more time consuming, and you don't get patches every single day for a lot of those games. I was wondering that. I was like, because there's so many bugs with like Madden that I'm playing. Like people are mad about that, and I'm like, yeah, why haven't they done more patches? You know?
And you're like, oh crap, they can't.
Yeah, and I'm just learning about this stuff. And I mean, after that, you're kind of getting into such high-level spells that it's like, whatever. I'm never going to get a chance to try out, or spells, feats. I'm probably never going to get a chance to try Versatile Spell Strike at 18. But, let's just read it. You can channel the entire realm of possibilities of... So well, it's versatile, and that's what we were talking about earlier, right? You can channel the entire realm of possibilities of your spellbook into an attack. Once during your daily preparations, you can use a spell slot to hold that infinite potential. Rather than using it to prepare a spell, when you use striking spell to alter a spell, instead of casting a prepared spell, you can expend this spell slot to cast any spell from your spellbook that's at least 2 levels lower than the slot's level. The spell acts in all ways as the spell of 2 levels lower. You don't have any particular spell prepared in that slot until you cast it. So, again, you can use spells normally, or you can attack and use the spell with attacks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you do have, that's your versatility that we were talking about earlier, that you said, well, maybe it can do cool stuff. Really, it can double up on damage. That's what it's supposed to be good at. You know, doing your attack and the spell with it. This allows you to do the spell. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. But it's 2 levels lower, and it doesn't use up your one prepared slot. Right? Is that how I'm understanding it?
I mean, that's how it sounds.
It's like you automatically do this in this slot, and you can now cast it 2 levels lower. And you don't use the slot upon doing it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. So then it goes into focus, different battle spells. Hasted Assault, Magus Potency.
Do you want to wrap up soon?
Yeah. Okay. Runic Impression and Spell Countermeasures. Yeah, I'm not going to go into those. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how a lot of spells work in the game. I haven't played a spellcaster yet. I got a lot to learn there. So, I don't know what's good and what's bad when it actually comes to spells themselves. Magus Potency is level 1. So the targets are you or one weapon you're wielding. Target gains the benefit of a +1 potency rune, granting a +1 item bonus to attack rolls with the targeted weapon or your unarmed attacks. If you targeted yourself, if cast on a weapon, this spell ends if you cease holding the weapon. Which is fine at first level. The +1 is fine. At 3rd level is +1. Wait, that doesn't make sense. So it's a level 1 thing, it gives you +1. At 3rd level heightened, it gives you +1. Does that mean an additional +1? That's cool.
Probably like an extra.
So yeah, so now you're at +2. Then it says at 4th level heightened, it would be +2. So that's a total of +3 then. There we go. It unfroze. Good deal. And then at 7th level, it goes to +3, so that would make it a total of +4. So that's pretty good, using a focus point.
I think I should finish him up another night and then
Sure.
be done.
I like it.
He needs like highlights and lowlights.
What are you going to do the antlers as?
What do you mean?
Have you painted those yet?
Yeah, they're just like
Oh.
regular antlers.
Oh, really? Let me see. I can't tell from here. It's just white. It looks white. You're not going to add any variation to it? Like
No, I probably will.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
done a ton of highlights and
Gotcha.
a ton of lowlights. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Like he needs more highlights and lowlights on his
He looks good, though.
baddie.
I love it. That is totally a miniature I'm excited to use. I think it looks awesome. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think it's coming along.
I'm losing my voice. Uh-oh. I've been playing a wizard in my tabletop sessions. I chose Wiz mainly because nobody at the table was playing that class. There you go. I don't play like that. I do not choose something just because no one else is. So we're going to wrap up there tonight. It's been fun. We only made it through the Magus in an hour and a half. So maybe we'll do the Summoner later on. Maybe next time we do it, we'll finish. We'll do the Summoner. Does that sound like a plan? Melchior likes the mini. Andres loves the mini.
So wait, you said next time we'll finish this up.
Yep, and I'll finish
this
talking
guy
about the
up.
Summoner. So next
Finish
Wednesday.
talking about the Summoner, and then you guys need to figure out what I'm going to paint next. I've still got this guy.
Oh, I'd just hold off till next time.
I know, but just like think about it. This guy.
I think you should do the guy with the 2 swords. Because that'll be a quick one. You can do it in one stream.
The other sword's broken.
How'd it break?
I don't know, but we need to fix it.
Kids broke it? I'm going to murder him.
Could
Murder
do
'em.
this one. I'm pretty excited about this barbarian.
So do her.
This was this guy. We need to glue his other sword back on.
Or we could keep it like that.
His sword, we could just tape it to the bottom.
That sucks.
Our kids come out here and play with these. They like
Which
scratch
pisses
them
me
up all
off.
the time, and
They don't listen to
Stuff
us
like
about what they
that.
can and can't play with. You know.
they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
have
well.
to be careful.
Is that Cthulhu? No, it's a rope monster. That's a Yeti that she's holding now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not pulling it out. If you want to see Cthulhu, go back. We did a video on it already. Go back and watch. We're going to end the stream right there.
He doesn't want me to open it up.
No,
okay.
it's going to fall apart.
Ready?
So.
We didn't glue it together yet. We're slackers. I just like paint it and then we glue it together later and then maybe one distant future.
She'll never finish
I'll
one.
do bases.
She still hasn't finished any miniature. None of them are sealed. Like, I'm not worried about the bases. I just want them sealed so we can use them. So the kids don't ruin them when they're out here.
It's going to be great, you guys. DVD.
All right,
we need
guys.
A cabinet with a padlock.
No, we got that. They don't mess with the stuff in the cabinet.
Yeah, we have a cabinet.
It's just the stuff on the table.
Padlock.
No, I need to get... So one of the things I do plan on doing is getting a new door handle.
Mm-hmm.
So I can lock it. I also want to get a deadbolt. I want to do a double lock on that door. I don't know. It's got to be like you can lock it from both sides almost. All right. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching. This is Master of the Game. Game on.